And we are live.
Hey, Philip, how you doing?
Mayor Currin, as I say, every day is a holiday, every meal is a banquet. All of our constituents treat us like a trusted advisor.
There you go. You got that down pat, don't you?
You'll get very annoyed the 15 millionth time you've heard it from me.
Yes, the summer started off with a blast, so there's a lot of things going on, and the heat's on too. So
It's open at Granite Falls, and the bar is by the pool is open as well.
there you go. There you go. You excited about the summer? Everything's happening.
Every day is exciting. Interesting what's going on in Rolesville right now. Everybody's kind of getting a little antsy about the Young Street, Main Street closure that's happening on the 19th.
Actually, the 17th, I think, is Sunday
17th.
night.
Coming soon.
Sunday night. It'll be closed for about 90 days, just the intersection. So it's just, you can't get through the intersection. You can go up to the intersection, the stores will be open, all those things. But you just have to think about, if you go into the chamber, which street you want to take to get you over there, because you can't go through the intersection no more. But there are several ways you can go. You can come up Virginia Water Drive to get to the chamber from here. You go Perry Street. There's several ways, you can get there, and you just have to figure out which way. And I think hopefully after about a week, people will start having their new routes figured out, and go a little bit smooth. But I'm really confident that the first week or two is going to be really tough, trying to figure out how you have to go around the intersection, and it's not a roundabout. You have to go around some other street to go around the intersection. And
all businesses are going to be open. Every business that's on the intersection is going to stay open. There is going to be extra parking available. They're paving an entire parking lot on the northwest corner. The fire department is opening up their parking spaces that we share with the chamber. So we'll have parking available in the chamber parking lot, the fire department parking lot. So there will be parking and just a very, 50-yard walk to these stores, which will remain open.
That's right. And we put a brand new parking lot in that will be open. Only way to get to it, though, you've got to go North Main. So the best, if you have the chamber and you want to go to that parking lot, then just take the road by the church and go around. I can't think of the name of that road. But that'll bring you out in front of the library there. Or not the library, but the Little House Museum, and then the parking lot is very, very close. Just come on up into town.
I will say, if you go to the town website and then go to Main Street Project, there is a map of the detours available, mapping out where the detour roads are going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be tough. I mean, I got to change my route to come from home here, but I have drove a new route a couple times, and I kind of know how I'm going to do that. And I think it is going to be better. It's going to be a nicer intersection. You'll be able to get through there better. The lights will work better, new lights and that kind of thing. It will not be a roundabout. I don't know why that rumor stays out there. In fact, I had a call from Cameron, my son, today. He said, "Are you 100% sure it's not going to be a roundabout?" I said, no, I'm 1,000% sure it's not going to be a roundabout. I don't know why people keep thinking it is, and they put that on social media.
It was in consideration. Why did they choose not to go roundabout?
A couple reasons. One was when they did the study, the consultants did the study on that intersection down there, and one of the main drivers, I wasn't part of that. I wasn't on the team, but one of the main drivers of the Main Street plan was to have more walkability for downtown, with the shops and the stores and all. And a roundabout really doesn't provide great. That's right. It doesn't provide great walkability, and so that was kind of taken out. And also, you would lose some on-street parking. So with the roundabout not being there, it's a lot more on-street parking than you would have without the roundabout. And the second thing is, we kind of listened to, if we talked to some of the building owners and merchants down there at the time, they did not want a roundabout. That was the last thing the commercial people wanted, was a roundabout, because of that reasons, I think. So
these people past
Rick
them.
Edges was totally against the roundabout, and so we had stakeholders on the team that discussed that, and overall, it wasn't a good idea to put a roundabout that they determined.
All right. I definitely see all that. Roundabouts are great for traffic. They're not great for the local businesses because it just rushes people to where they want to go. And if it's in the local business, then they're going right past. So
Exactly.
I can see that.
Yep, exactly. So what's happening in town from your perspective?
It's a busy June. This is a busy weekend of June with Juneteenth celebrations across the county, across the state. We've got 2 even in Rolesville. So you can start out your morning at Millbridge Nature Park. And we'll hear more about this later from one of our guests. This is sponsored in part by the town, or wholly by the town, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So there's one way to start your day out. And there'll be food trucks, activities, music. Let's go to this one. And then this is being put on by, of course, it's the Rolesville Community Coalition is doing this. And this one is from, let me focus my eyeballs if I can see that. I'm looking at a small computer screen. This one's from 4 to 8 p.m. On Saturday. So you got bookends. You got one in the morning and lunchtime, then you got one in the late afternoon and evening. And between those 2 celebrations, we got a car show. Now it says May 18th here, but it's actually going to be Saturday. Saturday is the rain date. They had to cancel it on the 18th because of the weather to be safe. But yeah, at Thales Academy, if you like to see a lot of old cars and some new cars too, I've been to some of these shows. It's not just a matter of the antiques and the classics. There'll be plenty of EV vehicles showing off the new technology as well. So that's going on. And then later on in the month, in Chamber, where we always have our monthly social. This is going to be sponsored by Adams Painting down at Los Tres Magas in the Food Line parking lot, 5 to 7, June 27th. Come out. It's real casual. Come out and talk and meet some business. If you like to get more exposure to other businesses in the Rolesville area, network, get to know some of the owners is a great way to do that. We're bringing back the coffee. The Chamber used to have a monthly coffee. It went away. We're bringing it back. The first one we're going to have is going to be Tuesday, July 2nd. It'll be held at the Chamber. So 8 to 9 on July 2nd. Come on out. We'll have donuts and coffee or bagels and coffee. I'm not sure which or both. And again, great time. If you can't make the evening event, here's a morning event. Come on out. Meet your fellow business owners. There'll probably be business owners coming in from outside of Rolesville, seeing what all the buzz is about. We do have membership that is outside in the general area. We are the Rolesville Area Chamber. So I think it'll be a good event. We're going to be doing it every month.
Yep.
Actually, I want to mention that the sponsor for the first one is Tony Kenyon with Consented Health. I know a lot of you guys know Tony and her business. So definitely come out and support them. We're bringing back the bands, barbecue and bands. This is not the logo. This is from 2 years ago, but it's got the current date on it. It's going to be September 28th. We're going to do it in the town park behind Sanford Creek Elementary. We'll have maps. We'll have guides. We'll have a lot more information that's coming soon, but it is coming back. So mark the date, September 28th. This is going to be a signature event for the town and the chamber. Bands, food, vendors. We're going to make it a big shindig. If the biggest complaint about the event is people couldn't find a place to park, I'll consider it a huge success. So that's coming. October 24th, when the weather gets a little cooler, we'll be back at Heritage with the Rolesville golf tournament. So mark that date for you. I will say I just put a lot of work in to get the registration site up. So you can go in and register as a twosome, a foursome, a single player. We're looking for sponsorships. You can sponsor a hole for $250. Bring out a table, bring out a tent, bring out your marketing tchotchkes, giveaways. We're going to have putt for free. So on the putting green, you can putt. And if you hit a bottle of alcohol, you get to keep that bottle of alcohol. We'll have mulligans. We'll have, I think they call them red bombs, where you can tee off from the red tees. So all the things that make it exciting. There'll be a lot of other games. It won't just be a golf tournament. It's going to be a fun tournament. So we're looking forward to that. And that's what we got going on this month or this summer too.
Yeah.
And this fall.
That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff for sure. A lot of exciting things. I don't know if y'all will be teeing off on the golf course as much as teeing off on the drinks, but but it sounds like y'all will have a good time for sure.
I plan to work for putt for proof. I'm much better aiming at liquor bottles than I am at holes in the ground.
I hear what you're saying. Just a couple mentions from last week. I think last week, from the perspective of town, it may, in my 22 and a half years being on the board and official of the town, I think last week was the most important week in the history of the town that I've been associated with. It was a really significant week last week. Actually, 4 hours. Actually, in 4 hours last Tuesday, June the 4th, is where history is made. I with Chairman Spence Jones of the Rolesville Fire Department, we signed a agreement to unify the fire department in town for the future. Strictly the best thing to do for the future, and we did that around 6 o'clock.
What does that mean? I had to ask that question. Not being from around here, what does that mean? I thought the fire department was a Rolesville Fire Department.
It's a private fire department, so similar to a nonprofit, but they put out fires. But it's private owned. They have their own board of directors, and they're funded solely, mostly 99% of their funding come from either the town of Rolesville or Wake County, which they contract with. We do an annual contract with them to provide fire service to the town, and they work really well. They work really well. They do a really good job. Been doing a great job for 65 years, 66 years now, I think. And
1958, right?
Yeah, and it's nothing new with that. But we're planning to grow. We plan to have new buildings. We plan to do all that, and they can't do that as a private group. It really takes the town owning it and operating it to be able to grow like that. So that was very significant for the future, for sure. And then we had a town board meeting a little bit later, and we approved a budget, which in that budget, we've been working over 20 years. In that budget, we have now to construct a new fire station, a new police station, and a new town hall in the next 4 years. Been working on it a long time. So that's a really significant
congratulations.
Thank you. The board did. Also included in that budget is $12 million to start working on our park, a new park that we're going to have out on North Main Street. So that was one of the best significant budgets I think we've ever done. And then we wrapped up the evening by the board approved our new town manager, which is Eric Marsh. He is now officially.
He did become. Oh, I did not hear that.
Yes, he is officially our town manager. I signed the contract papers this week, but they voted for him to remove that interval from his name. He's not interim no more. He is the town manager. And we did all that in 4 hours. That's why I say I think it's probably the most significant 4 hours this town has ever seen, if we can bring all those things back together. But like I said, and the next day, the very next day on the 5th, the owner of the old Pine Grove building submitted their plans to open that up. And it is going to be a facility. If we can pull it off, he's still got a lot of hurdles to do. If we can pull it off, but this is at 414 South Main Street, if you kind of remember. But that building,
white building on the west side across from Food Line.
Yeah, it's where the Pine Grove building is. It's all grown up right now. But that building will have 8,500 square feet of eating establishments in it. It will have 49,000 square feet of indoor sports, ice ring. So it's going to have an ice ring in it, and also it have sales and services, about 1,600 square feet of that. It's going to be a nice facility. If it works out, they'll be associated with the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's a very exciting announcement that hasn't been finalized yet, but kind of put it out there for the people to know that hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed. It's coming. Big week last week. Big week. Yeah. So
look forward to congratulating our new town manager in person soon.
Yeah. And then went to the graduation at Rolesville High School. Close to 500 kids graduated out there. So that was an exciting time for them for sure. But we got a couple really great guests tonight,
Now
Philip.
we do.
And we have so much going on. We spent a little bit more time introducing the show than we normally do. But let's get them on so we can jump right in and talk to them a few minutes.
I think first up is going to be our good Yolanda Taylor. Let me bring her to the stage. There she is.
Yolanda, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I hope
Good.
you guys are doing well.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad to have you on the show. I guess you was waiting back there and said, when am I going to come on? I was supposed to be on 5 minutes ago, but we got to talking about stuff and that's the way it goes sometimes on a live show. You just have to roll with it. But we have a lot going on, as you know, you're new to town in some ways. Been here a year, I think you told me. And
Yes.
so it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things going on. And tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you manage to come to Rolesville with some of your background?
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much. Again, I'm honored to be here on your show, Mayor Currin. As you stated, I'm new as far as I'm a new business. I opened up a law firm a little over a year ago, or almost a year. I think it will be July 1st, will be a year that I've been a business resident of Roseville. However, I've always lived in this area. I've lived in Wake Forest, the neighboring town, for 14 years. And even before I opened up my law firm, which is Yolanda L. Taylor Law Firm, PLLC, is located right in town on Young Street by the fire station across from the church. And it's in the Chambers office. So come by and say, hey, guys, if you get a chance. But prior to a year ago, my first introduction to the town of Rolesville, or being involved in Rolesville, was back in 2019 when me and the chair of the board, her name was Lisa Kane, and others, we founded Rolesville Charter Academy. So Rolesville Charter Academy is a great location. It's near all the development that's happening now, where the new Publix is going to be. So we wanted to come to Rolesville. We knew that Rolesville was one of the fastest growing towns even back then. Your predecessor, Mayor Eagles, was very heavily involved and supported that school because I am a proponent of school choice, while also, supporting public schools, because we're proud of public schools. And I think you are a team mayor, right?
Yeah,
I think a lot of us are.
You can do both. You can very much do both, because really, I agree. I think the parents should have a choice if they can. Yes. And you can do both. And I fully support both for sure.
Yeah, me too. It's just it's so amazing, to see something come from like a concept and knowing that you want to build a school, because I care a lot about education. Education is important in North Carolina and in this country, right? So to see the beautiful faces of the kids and the families, and to see the building full, and to know it's happening in Roseville, and being a part of Roseville was kind of my first introduction to the beautiful growing town of Roseville.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, before we start, you're on the show to talk about Juneteenth, and we're going to talk about that, in a few minutes. Before you do that, maybe real briefly, your business, your law firm. You said you've been in town about almost a year, be a year, July 1. What has the experience been like? What's the last 11 and a half months? What has it been like? Has it been what you expected? And maybe some of the things you specialize in, some of the things you may be working on, if you can share. I know sometimes attorneys, with the client privilege stuff, you can't share a whole lot, but what you can, tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Well, even though I've only been in town for a year, I've been an attorney for a little over 2 decades. And so being able to, I went to a firm for the majority of my legal career. I worked at Legal Aid of North Carolina, I want to say, for about 13 years. And so this is my second hand at my own practice. My firm is called Yolanda L. Taylor Law Firm. I also do business as the Center for Community Law and Equity. So what does that mean? I get a lot of questions about that. Well, the Center for Community Law and Equity is really like my housing advocacy arm. I'm a housing advocate, especially in this economy. I feel like, everyone should have a house. I feel like housing is a human right. As you know, we've talked about some of the situations happening in town where seniors were being basically economically displaced. It's not because they didn't have the rent or were not paying the rent on time. It's because the rent went up. So I just feel like, in one of the world's richest countries that, everyone should have a house or a home. So especially those I feel like who are vulnerable, like seniors who are on a fixed income, like they can't get out there and increase their incomes. Some of them may not have the family network that others do. So that's part of what I do as far as like that policy work. And like you said, I also care about education. So sometimes I get involved with that. Like I have a charter school that's a client of mine that I'm working with. This charter school is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I actually work across the state from the town of Rolesville. So Rolesville is getting a lot of recognition because of my work. They know I'm in Rolesville. And I also work in Eastern North Carolina, Rocky Mount, Wilson. I've done some work there as well. Of course, in neighboring Raleigh around housing, talking to the housing authority and their plans to rebuild some of their housing units. But I also do wills, estates, and trusts because it's natural, right? If I'm doing housing work, I have a lot of people coming to me about heirs property. So I'm doing some heirs property work as well, just advising people and also trying to help people. If it doesn't, I don't want to say heirs property is necessarily negative because there are some people who are able to live in a communal way, right? But there are a lot of people who are not able to live in a communal way. So as their attorney, looking at a will, or advising someone on a will or a trust, or doing estate planning, I'm always, cautious about creating heirs property. And there's a lot of people, many people that don't even know about trusts or wills, or don't have one, I should say.
Yeah, we could make a whole show on that for sure. I know, I know it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about there for sure. If you don't do it right, and if you don't have a good one, it can cause a lot of problems. You can leave a lot of headaches for your loved ones for sure. But let's talk about Juneteenth. So what?
No, I was going to put that in there. Those are the two main things I do, but I do contract law and I do business law as well. So
got you. Juneteenth. I know you have been involved in that for a while. Talking to you, I think your husband has been involved with it maybe even more than you have in some areas. But it's kind of new to Rolesville. This is the first year that we actually having a town sponsored event. So the town is sponsoring an event as Philip described. It's this Saturday from 10 to 2 out at Mill Bridge, and very excited about that for the first time. I think this is our first year. I'm pretty sure it is first year that the town will give employees the day off. I think so. I think we gave them a choice before, but I think this year is actually the office will be closed for the first year. The office may be closed. So so town is really embracing doing things for that. But what is that? I think some people really don't know what it's about. Why is it a celebration and kind of what does it do?
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you and I talked before, I even told you I haven't always grown up celebrating Juneteenth. Like it wasn't a celebration that my parents passed on to me. It was just later as I became older, I got involved. My husband is going to be playing this weekend for the town park. He's a drummer. He plays an African drum called a djembe. So he's excited about that. And we've been married for almost 14 years. So we go to different events like the town of Apex. has had one every year. Wake Forest has had one every year. So I'm very excited that we get a chance to be a part of the Town of Rolesville's inaugural Juneteenth event. But what Juneteenth? Well, let's talk about the word Juneteenth first. It's a combination of the month June, and teenth is symbolic of the date, the 19th, because Juneteenth is even though it just became a national holiday in 2021, it's really one of the United States' oldest celebrations. I mean, it dates back to 1865. On June 19th, 1865, the enslaved people living in Galveston Bay, Texas, were finally told that they were free. To those of us who know American history, President Abraham Lincoln did the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1865. So 6 months later, and it could be because back then they didn't have social media, they didn't have what's happening in Galveston, Texas Live, they didn't have any of those things. They didn't even have like email. So it was someone on a horse that had to deliver the message, right? And so there were people delivering the message of the Emancipation Proclamation order on horseback, and they did it throughout the South, or the former Confederate states. But Texas, being like the farthest state away, for whatever reason, either if they knew they were not complying, and why I say that is because it took like 200,000 Union troops to actually, not 200,000, sorry, 2,000 Union troops to actually go to Galveston Bay, Texas, to do the announcement. And the Union general, I think his name was Gordon Granger, he made that announcement. And so that's why Juneteenth is important in the African American or Black culture, because we realize that, you know, if we're all not free, then we're not free. It's kind of like the theme, you know, until all of us are free, then we all are free. So everyone was not free. And I did tell you, I'm not going to get into this, that there is some research I've been doing about the state of New Jersey in the North, that they may have had enslaved people living there even longer than Texas. Wow. That's something for people to research, right? You never hear about the North, you always hear about the South, and the North have had this, you know, more compassion. But I mean, they too were involved in what's known as chattel slavery. But so I say it's the oldest celebration because I want to say like on the Freedom Eve is what they call it, right? There's different names for Juneteenth. Some people call it Emancipation Day. Some people call it Freedom Day. That's why the town's theme is Freedom in a Park. But even before what happened in Galveston happened, when President Abraham Lincoln actually announced the Emancipation Proclamation, the eve of that date happening in January 1st, I guess it was December 31st, they called it Freedom Eve. So there were freed, you know, Blacks that were able to huddle in homes and churches, and they like waited with anticipation because they heard that this Emancipation Proclamation order was coming down. So they, like I said, so these different words you would hear in connection with Juneteenth, you will hear Freedom Day, you will hear Emancipation Day, and you may also hear things about the color red. So the color red is symbolic of this celebration. It's a cultural thing that comes from Africa, Jamaica, and the Caribbean, all places where, you know, African people were enslaved. So in red, you know, what are some things that we use the celebration of red? Barbecue is red. You know, watermelon is a red fruit that, you know, our culture really loves. I think everybody loves watermelon, not just Black folks, but it is an African fruit. I didn't know that either until I did my research. But yeah, so anything red, strawberry soda, whatever you think of red.
Whatever red, huh?
Yeah, so that's a rich color, and it's symbolic. It's symbolic of sacrifice, transition, and power. I think it's kind of like the symbolic colors, but there are other colors too. And I want to hold up some of the colors. Like these are some Juneteenth beads that I've worn at celebrations before. So you have the yellow, you have the green, you have the red colors here. And I think black is a color as well. But Juneteenth is a day that I think everyone should celebrate, you know, because Juneteenth is not like Black history. It's American history.
Yeah.
It's American
Yeah.
history.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. You mentioned everybody.
Yes.
So it's a celebrate. Anybody can celebrate, right?
Yes.
You can
Everybody loves to dance, party, eat.
celebration is just to come out, have fun. A lot of people associate celebration with eating. More you eat, the more you can celebrate. It's just a fun thing, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. Is that kind of what you think we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think we're talking about, celebrating, like that's a picture here. Thank you, Phil, for showing this slide. Like this is a picture in Apex, the town of Apex, where my husband has performed, like I told you several times. And I'm so glad he's here in Rolesville this weekend. But yeah, so it's food, it's kids activities, music, it's storytelling, is people get up and talk about the history of Juneteenth, is celebrating, of course, culturally, it's also celebrating like a time where, hope won, basically. So hope won. It's about Jubilee. This is an older picture. Thank you for sharing that too. Here is, thank you. Emancipation Day celebration on June 19th, 1900. It was held in Eastwoods on East 24th Street in Austin, Texas. So we don't have to get as fancy as this. Like they were really fancy. They were dressed up. We don't have to wear top hats or gowns. We can just come out in our shorts, our clothes, our t-shirts, whatever you want to wear. It may be hot, but this just shows that this holiday may be new as far as being recognized as a national holiday, but this celebration dates back to the 1900s. So that's why I was saying that it's one of America's oldest celebrations. And it's my understanding that, and he may talk about this later, it may not have been taught like to us. That's why a lot of Americans don't know about it. I mean, it wasn't in our history books in North Carolina, based on my knowledge, and I did pretty well in history. But in Texas, it was in the history book. So there he is, Phil. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I don't remember in North Carolina history anything that we had in school. I can't say I remember everything I had back in the 7th grade, but
it's hard.
I don't ever recall that, and because it was once it became a national holiday, and I learned more and more about it. Because you're right, it's old. It's not something somebody just did last week or 5 years ago. It's an old celebration. So like Thanksgiving, I mean, you trace that way back. That's not a new thing. It's really, really old. And
well, I live in North Carolina, but I'm an expat Texan. I grew up in Texas, and she's right. It was the celebration began back in Texas back in the 1800s, and it's interesting. A lot of people did not hear about it until it became a national holiday. But we were taught, very unusually, in grade school, we were taught about Juneteenth celebration. It was in our history books. It was Texas loves its history, if nothing else. Being the only state of the union that was a republic before it became a state, things like that. The Alamo, but Juneteenth is just as big a part of that lexicon as the Alamo or anything else. So we read about it, we heard about it. It was taught to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I appreciate you sharing that, Philip, because I guess it was even prominent a long time ago in Texas. And more mainstream than
in other communities, and like pockets of the Black community. Like I know Durham celebrated it. Pockets of Black communities in Durham did celebrations before it became a national holiday. And I mean, I think it's significant, and I think there is pause to celebrate, because my understanding is that there were still like 250,000 enslaved African descendants that were still enslaved in Texas. even, like I said, 6 months after President Abraham Lincoln had ordered that they were freed, and that their relationship would then transition to one of employer laborer. So that still occurred. So yeah, so that's significant.
Yeah. Whenever we see Philip, we know time's run out on us. So you got anything you want to add? Now I'm going to ask you if you would stay on, come back at the end when we do a closing. If you can stay on, and we'll close together. But anything you want to add before we bring our next guest out?
No, I just want to encourage the town to come out. I love this town. I love like the people who have lived here all their lives. I've got to meet a lot of people here. I've got to meet a lot of new people who have newly moved here. So I think this is a time for celebration and unity. And I would love to see all cultures, all walks of life this weekend at the Juneteenth celebration.
Well, I do too, and I'm gonna be there. I got two things to do. I got a car show and that Juneteenth, and 4 hours I can get them both in. But it's going to be great. It's our first one, so I spring June out. Let's talk to him on how big he thinks it's going to be, and see what his thoughts are. So thank you, and stay on if you can, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. And there's June. Welcome,
everybody.
First time on the show, I understand, June.
Oh, yeah. Yep. First time. So I'm kind of excited here.
We're excited to have you. Really are. Good to have you. It's got your title there, Rolesville Parks and Recreation Director.
Yes, sir.
But being first time, briefly give us a bio. Who are you? Where are you from? Are you from Texas like Philip? Or?
Well, I'm not from Texas, but I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. So I don't know,
okay.
I don't know if that counts for anything.
I guess Commissioner Dan Austin loves that. Sure.
Well, my name is June Greene. I was born and raised in Franklin County, Lewisburg. Before I came here, I was the Parks and Recreation Director for Franklin County. And I came here in August. I actually went to school in Greensboro, North Carolina A&T, played baseball there. I've actually been traveling, been with the school system. I have a daughter. I am a newly grandfather. I have my grandson. He was born the end of May. So I'm really excited about that, to actually have that boy up under my belt right now. So so I'm happy about that. I'm pleased to be here in Rolesville. Just to, like you said, like everybody has said about Rolesville, it is a small community, but it's a growing community. And I'm just happy to be a part of this growth that is about to partake in the town of Rolesville.
Great. And June, we're going to have you back on next month. We'll go ahead and let everybody know to tune in next month. It's a park and recreation kind of show. We'll have you back on. We're going to get into some more details on what you do and you know what have you thought of being here now, being director for us for a while.
Okay.
And we're going to dig into that. But it's really great. And we are doing the Juneteenth event the first time this year. Your department has kind of worked very hard in kind of getting that together. What should people expect? What are we trying to accomplish on this one?
You know, being there, I'm the Parks Director here in Rolesville, hosting the town's first annual Juneteenth event. This holds kind of a profound significance to us, to the whole department. It's a moment to honor the resilience and contribution of Black Americans, reflecting on the ongoing journey towards equality, and also educate the community about the pivotal point of history. You know, organizing this event is not just about celebration. It's also about fostering a sense of unity, pride, and cultural awareness within the community. It's an opportunity to create a space where history is acknowledged, progress is celebrated, and the future is embraced, spirit of inclusiveness for the community and hope. So that's what we are really looking for out of this event. It's just to bring the whole community together, Mayor. And it's not just as earlier Ms. Taylor has said, Yolanda Taylor has said before, it's not about one particular race. It's about the whole community and embracing the history that we have here and just with the whole community. And I know that's part of being one of our strategic planning points of the town is that inclusiveness. And so that's a real big thing that we are pushing for with you and the board, as well as the whole town, is making this town all inclusive. And,
that's right. That's
right. And deal with the equity and inclusiveness of this. So, and this right here is our first start of breaking those barriers to include that.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know who did that little tagline there. Maybe it was you, June, that did that. But celebrate freedom of our community, the whole community.
Yes,
that's really describes it there. It's a community event. It's not just for one group of people. It's for everybody. And I think everybody to come out is going to enjoy it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of things that you can do there, right?
Yes. So like we said before, it's called Freedom in the Park. Well, Rolesville's Freedom in the Park, Juneteenth celebration. It's going to be June 15th from 10 to 2 p.m. at Millbridge Nature Park. By some odd chance, if you don't know the address is 425 Nature Park Drive, Wake Forest. Even though it says Wake Forest, it is located in the town of Rolesville. We're going to have inflatables. We're going to have yard games. We're also going to have vendors. We're going to have vendors there that's going to be selling items, painters, cups, T-shirts. A funeral home business is going to be there. The Wake County Parks and Rec is going to be there. Go Wake is going to have a booth there. So we are trying to incorporate the whole town and give all the local vendors an opportunity to come out and actually showcase some of the things they're selling. We also going to have food trucks. We're going to have fried wings and seafood will be there. We're going to have magnificent concession. They will be selling like your carnival foods. Like to me, I know I hate every time I see those places. They got the funnel cake. I cannot pass up a funnel cake, Mayor. I don't know what it is. It is hard, but if nothing else, I got to get a little bit of it. We're going to have Tarbanks Brewing, which will have beer and wine for us as well. And we're going to have some artists. These artists, we're going to have Jashawn Peele. He's a jazz. He's a saxophone jazzist. He will be playing. We're going to have DL Zine. She plays a guitar and sing. We're going to have Simone G. She's going to provide a spoken word. We're going to have Sutton. He's a singer that will be singing for us. We're also going to have Mrs. Yolanda Taylor. She did not want to toot her own horn, but she will be speaking for us some as well at the event. And like I said, her husband, the John Prophet, he will be performing also. And to close the show, we're going to have the renowned Tish Songbird. She is a renowned singer, local singer. She sung at many events throughout Wake County. Matter of fact, North Carolina. I've seen her in several different places. She will. She's going to be our main event to end this for the day, and she's going to just bring it down for us.
Yeah, and it's 4 full hours. Is that correct, James?
Yes, sir. It is going to be 4 full hours of entertainment where you can go be also in the meantime, we can have inflatables so the kids can go there. We want you to visit the vendors, get you something to eat. So the way the nature park is set up at Millbridge, it's kind of like an amphitheater where everything will be, the vendors and everything will be up top, but the music will carry out throughout the whole park. So we're really excited, and we're really happy to be first time here in the town of Rolesville.
Yeah. How much it costs? How much it costs to come there?
It's going to be free 99, Mayor. It's all free, but you do have to pay for the food with the vendors.
Right.
But the inflatables, bounce houses, they are free. The entertainment is free. we are just wanting everybody to come out and just enjoy the day, visit the nature park as well as be out there, because we have some of the best greenways and trails right here in the town of Rolesville, and it's a beautiful place. It's a kind of hidden gem that we have back here in the back. If you take the trails out there, you can walk up on the waterfalls and so forth out there at Millbridge. So we'd love everybody to come out. I looked at the weather, the humidity supposed to be low, so it should be a nice, beautiful day for us.
That's great. Yeah, we've had that nature park for a while, but it is a nature park, and don't a whole lot of events take place out there. But it's a great facility, and excited that you chose that to have it. And for people not very familiar with the location, the nature park is very close to Heritage, so on Rogers Road. So Rogers Road, Heritage, you go out that way, and that's where the nature park is. But it's a great event, and you guys have had fun putting this together, have you not, June?
Yeah, it's been fun. We have we've had some little hiccups in the beginning, just trying to find different vendors and our food trucks. But it's been fun. I have actually met a lot of people since I've been putting this event on, different people in the community. So that's always been a good positive for me, is to meet new people, make these connections so that we could always build this and make it better as we move forward in the years to come.
Right. And if you was to have something else to do that morning, you don't have to be there the whole 4 hours. You can come and have fun and if you just come at lunchtime or something. Is that correct?
So like I said, it's floating. You can come in if you want. We're there from 10 to 2. Artists are performing the whole time. So you can come in, stop by, get you some lunch. And while you pick up you some lunch to eat for that day, or some early dinner, you can listen to some music, let the kids go play some of the yard games, get on the inflatables and listen to some music, and then you can go back home. But the music that we're going to have, all of our entertainers are going to be wonderful. So if you come, I'm going to let you know now, you're probably going to be kind of baited to stay, just because of the great entertainers that we're going to have performing for the 4 hours.
That's right. So June, someone that has never, been to an event like that before, you're inviting everybody for sure. Just what would you say? Just come on out and have a good time. Don't you don't have to do anything but just show up. Is that pretty much it?
Yep. If you want to come, just come show up. You can actually bring your lawn chairs. We ask people not to bring tents just because they may block other people's view. But if you got an umbrella that you may want to bring, just maybe get out the shade or whatever, because we do have shade there at the park. But we just want people to come out and enjoy themselves and just embrace what Rolesville is doing, and to actually make this a more diverse and inclusive community that we have here. So we just want to just come out. It's free. Just come out to enjoy yourself.
Yep. And it is a town event. I mean, I was talking to, I think Yolanda or someone recently. Some towns have events, but it's not town sponsored. But this is a town sponsored event. And there is another event from a coalition in town, which sounds like it'd be a good event too later in the day.
Yes, sir.
Go to both, I would say.
Yep.
But this is a town sponsored event, and anybody in the community is invited.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Even if you are not from here,
right,
you still can come. It's open to whoever, but it is a town event. We would love to see more people from our surrounding communities. Come out and visit Rolesville. See what Rolesville.
I imagine you have some of your folks from Lewisburg down there, won't you?
I got a feeling there will be several people from Franklin County coming to support. But like I said, one of the artists is from Franklin County. So I actually know she has a great following. So we will be people from Franklin County here.
Great. Well, June, we don't never have enough time to talk about this stuff, and I'm going to bring you back on because everybody needs to get to know you. You've been working very hard. Have you been here a year yet? No, I don't think so.
Nope. I'll be a year in August. I'll be a year August 21st. So yep. So everything is booming right now. But hey, Mary, because I know that I will not. Next time I come on, it'll be after one of our big events. And if I could, I'm just throw a big plug in real quick about Rolesville 4th before we leave. Rolesville 4th is going to be July the 4th. It's going to be at Redford Place Park from 5 to 9. We're going to have the Ray Band who will be performing that day from 6 to 9. They're doing R&B, Motown, beach music, rock, and some of our hottest current hits for that day. So that's going to be a great event for us. That's right here again. That's another town-sponsored event. And
fireworks
we invite people to come out. What you say, Philip?
The fireworks are actually on the 4th.
Yeah.
Yes, fireworks are on the 4th. Yep, we are doing them on the 4th here. It's going to be a big event, food trucks, DJ, inflatables, photo booths, local vendors, you name it. There again, we are trying to make Rolesville this big melting pot. So that's what we are really shooting for.
So how many people are you expecting for the 4th event?
Well, this will be my first one, and some of the numbers that everybody tell me, I'm actually scared to believe. I've heard numbers are upward of 5,000 people, and I'm like, whoa. So this is going to be exciting for me. I've done them in Franklin County, but to hear some of the numbers that we are expecting for our Rolesville 4th, I'm excited, and also I'm like, wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that event has been going on for a long time. Rolesville's hosted that way back when just the baseball team used it as a fundraiser, and so it's been going on for a long, long time. But this event we have in this weekend, Juneteenth, is new for us, and appreciate all the work you've done in putting in it, June, and it's going to grow. You don't want to expect the first one to draw 5,000 people. I don't think we could park 5,000 out there. I don't believe.
No, we can't.
But it's only going to get bigger and bigger with you guys, working on it and all, and very excited. And if you're young, the young people that's watching, if you are young, come to it. 50 years from now, you can say you went to the first one, and you've been to every one since then. You've been to all 50. So don't miss the first one if you're young, because you could use that in the future as being
Mayor,
first one there.
And Mayor, let me have 30 more seconds, and I promise you,
no problem. I'll
stop. And also, during the month of June, we have it on trail art. So if you can see it, these are some of the arts that we are putting out on at our parks. Here's another one here, and one more. So we are putting 2 out at Main Street Park, and we're putting 2 out over at Millbridge Park. So we actually would do 2 at Main Street one day, 2 at Millbridge, and we are doing it every day for the month of June. So if you go out and just walk the trails, you may also come home with a mushroom. So I just did want to put that out there, because Rolesville, if people don't know it, Rolesville, the town of Rolesville got so much going, and a whole lot of stuff get falling through the cracks. I want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on in Rolesville and everybody stay abreast.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that too, June, because some people think Park and Recreation is a ball team, and maybe once in a while put on an event. But one of the things your department is trying to do is historical stuff, art stuff. You're taking it to, we're making Rolesville more. Our rec department is more than just sports. It touches all people and everybody, all races, all age groups, everything. And we want to, and I say that just to tee it up for next month. We're going to talk more about that next month for sure. And so you be prepared to talk about all that. But appreciate all you do, June, and y'all hang on. I think we got to wrap up, I believe, Philip, unless you got something to do.
time is 7:55. We are good to go.
Yeah. So do appreciate it. Any closing thoughts, Yolanda? Anything you want to say? We had I think we had a lot of live people watching tonight. Sometimes, this thing, we stream it live, but a lot of people watch it on delay. They'll watch it the next day and do lunch hour or something like that. So we get a lot of eyes that don't watch it live. But we had quite a few watching live and a lot of comments come in. I don't know if you saw that or not, but we had a lot of comments to come in for this one for sure. And do you have any closing things you want to say?
The only thing I was going to say was just to lift another theme of Juneteenth, which is never giving up hope in uncertain times. And I think that's a theme that resonates with a lot of people today because, we are living in uncertain times. But the whole theme of never giving up hope, I think this is really going to be a way to really ground that celebration on Saturday. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone and to all the people that were in the chat. I hope to see you there Saturday.
Yeah. And, it's another event that use the term keep hope alive, and that's kind of what you're saying here. It all ties together. It all ties together from one to another for sure. Anything, Jim, you want to add?
Hey, I'm just want to see all those faces of all the community, and I mean community, not just one demographic. I mean the community on Saturday.
Great. Well, Philip, been a great show.
It's nice to meet a fellow Aggie.
Huh?
Hey there.
Yeah.
I might be a Texas Aggie, but I am an Aggie.
Hey, Aggie, all the same.
A&T Aggies.
Yep. A&T, A&M, it all the same.
That's right. That's right. A good competition, ain't it?
Yes.
So I think one other big thing's happening this weekend, June. I think the NCAA baseball series championship is starting this weekend. Starts
Friday.
And you're a baseball guy, so I know you're excited about that.
Yes,
sure.
It's good to see the teams from the ACC. It's 4 teams out of the ACC and 4 teams out of the SEC.
That's actually like SEC state play.
Yes.
Right. It's like a battle.
Ooh, the pack.
I don't know who to vote for or who to root for because I'm a Texas Aggie, but my son is Wolfpack.
Oh,
he's down there now.
Wow. Are they in the same group? It's 2 groups.
I don't know. I know they're in the.
I think they are too. I think they are, June. I believe they are. I'm trying to picture in mind. I think they are. But really great having you guys on. This has been a great show. This has been one of the best ones I think we've had. You guys did a really good job. I appreciate y'all coming in. Such a wealth of information you got given. I think the community has been watching tonight, and they got a couple days more to see it. Hopefully this will help them turn out Saturday, and hope it's a really good, fun event. So appreciate everybody helping. And I'm going to let you close it out tonight, Philip. So anything you want to say?
Everybody have a pleasant evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for those who are watching this after the live event. Do put your comments into whichever social media device you're watching it on. We'll see them and we'll read them and we'll get back to you. But definitely thanks for the engagement for everybody that came out live tonight. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Rosal. Thank you, Cass. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming on.
Thank y'all.
We will see. I guess we'll see everybody Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it.
I will be there.